No, we're
have
not.
some fun?
No, if the
What do
Knicks
you
are losing,
mean?
I'm gonna be miserable.
Be fine.
I'm gonna be miserable. You know what? I'm saying Knicks are winning tomorrow.
Oh.
Fuck it. Here we go. Knicks are winning tomorrow. See that guy? No, that's the wrong guy. See that guy? See him? He's over his assist prop. Jalen Brunson. He's going over his assist prop.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
Heard yesterday that he's got no shot to win the Cy Young because it's going to Skubal again. Skubal's winning the Cy Young, no shot for free.
They're both terrific. They both have incredible numbers and credentials and stats and strikeouts and ERA and everything, like every single category. Fried is right there with him.
Pharrell coast to coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Face. He's the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're the face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces of the NBA aren't American.
SportsRage tonight. Only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. The pits, the players, the hustlers, the people of Bustler, and everybody else in between. The Thursday night throwdown has begun. So is the NBA Finals. So has the CFL regular season. And we're rocking and rolling this evening. We're breaking it all down live, in-game live, special SportsRage edition. But it's always cool when we have these big-time games going on. We're fired up for the start of the CFL, but let's start off in the association as the Oklahoma City Thunder came to play tonight. But the Pacers are hanging around. The Pacers turned the ball over a million times in the first quarter. Turnovers kill in the playoffs. But the Pacers are starting to find themselves a little bit. There's Miles Turner with an N1 taking it to the rack right now. We've got ourselves a basketball game, 67-55. The total closed at 230 when it was all said and done. I see it 216.5 right now. I just bet it over 218.5. And, I tell you what, it was 215.5 and I tried to click it and it was 218.5. And I said, yeah, you know what? This thing's going to get there. So we're going, it looks like we're going to a break here right now. So we're going to a break, 67-55, about 7 minutes left in the third quarter of play. So we have a 12-point game. Pacers are currently getting 14.5 right now. Total 216.5. The game's not big enough it's not a blowout, right? It's one of these deals where it's frustrating to play the Oklahoma City Thunder because you're kind of in it, but you're not really in it. And we all know one thing with the Thunder, this is kind of like, a lot of these teams, when you watch them play like every 2 days for like 2 months in a row, you'll notice patterns with them, right? The Edmonton Oilers have a pattern. The game starts off a little slow, and the next thing you know, there's a million goals that are scored. Oklahoma City, basically, when you play them, when you're in Oklahoma City playing against them, they'll be up like by 10 or 12 or 8, and you think, you know what, you're kind of hanging around. And then they go on one of these runs, the next thing you know, you're down by 24, right? And or they're up by 40 or 50 so quickly, and you just tap out. But none of that is happening. The Pacers, number one, aren't going to be tapping out. Pacers are in this game. They're not really playing all that well, and they're in the game. Yet, at the same point in time, the Oklahoma City Thunder aren't going to take the pedal off the metal. So we got a total of 216.5 right now. I think we're going to get there. I think we're going to get there. Put it this way. If it doesn't get there, it's not because the Pacers tapped out. It's because the Pacers can't deal with the Oklahoma City Thunder defense, and they are having a hard time with this. You know, with all the reputation of the New York Knicks and, you know, their toughness and Thibodeau and all that, they're really not that good of a defensive team. like the irony of it all. Brunson's not a good defensive player. Karl Anthony Towns doesn't even bother to try to play defense. Right. I mean, you know, Josh Hart's a baller. They've got some dudes that can defend, you know, Robinson is a grinder, etc. But like as a whole, they're not a great defensive team, the Knicks. Like the Pacers did whatever they wanted for the most part. They didn't really have to worry about it. The Oklahoma City Thunder, something that people don't talk about enough with them. It's always the SGA. And I think people kind of wonder how the hell is, you know, how are they 80 and 19? That's what their overall record is if you count the playoffs straight up. The Oklahoma City Thunder. This is actually their 100th game tonight. All right. I didn't see that anywhere. I realized that myself. But I'm like, man, they're 80 and 19. That's 99. It's actually their 100th game of the year. Think about that. So they've played 100 games. They're about to win this game. They're winning 80% of their freaking games, man. Like honestly, if this was the New York Knicks doing this, if this was Luka, or if this was, you know, the LA Lakers, imagine if the Lakers were 80 and 19, or the Golden State Warriors were 80 and 19 right now, and they were rolling in game one of the finals and stuff. You would not hear the end of, is this the greatest team ever? Right? Like, oh, one of the greatest teams ever. And, you know, but it's Oklahoma City, so they don't want to acknowledge it. And it's SGA. He's humble. He's not like, you know what I mean? It's just different with Oklahoma City. But the thing to make them so damn good, and somebody brought up the bad boy Pistons the other day, and it's not a bad reference, actually, in the sense of they just kind of bludgeon you, right? Like, on the Pistons. Oh, the Pistons can't beat the Lakers. Well, the Pistons did beat the Lakers, right? And it was like, if you look back at the Piston team, like, who do they have? Right? Like, it's like, wow, they had just a bunch of dudes that were just annoying to play against. It's hard to win like this in the NBA. You can do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, teams that play defense in leagues, you'll notice, they don't win. Oh, defense wins championships. Not really. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I've always said, yeah, you want to have a better defense than the team you're playing in the championship, but if you don't play offense, you ain't getting to the championship in the modern sports landscape. I don't care what league it is, right? But the difference with Oklahoma City is they have the balance. They got a dude in SGA, like SGA, as good as he is, and SGA, listen, he's really good, SGA, but he's not Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? He's not like, I don't want to take anything away from him because I like him, but what I'm trying to say is he's able to thrive a lot because of the team that he has. Like the system, he's not a system player because you got to be able to do it. But like basically, like it's like everybody else will do the dirty stuff. It's like, listen, bro, every time you get the ball, take it to the rack, do your thing, take your 30 shots a game, and don't worry about it. If you miss, don't worry about it. And everybody else out here is just bawling and busting their ass. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you think you got an open shot, and out of nowhere, Caruso swats it from behind you. You know, Hartenstein comes out of nowhere, right? You know what I mean? Lou Dort from Montreal North, one of the toughest hoods in North America. Like, he comes at you. Like, they're constantly swatting at the ball, blocking the ball, you know, swatting in the air, you know, hitting you. It's just, you know, and it wears teams out. So that's what's so difficult. Like, people wonder, like, how do they win so much? That's how they win so much. They really do just play, like, really, really physical defense, and they're relentless. They don't quit on plays. So you think, oh, I got a layup, I got an easy shot here. No, you don't. Right? Like, I guess in basketball terms, you really got to work for your looks with these guys. Right? And it wears the modern NBA player out because nobody plays defense in the modern NBA. Right? I mean, so if you're really, like, if you're the only ones going to do it, other people are going to have a problem with it. But with all that being stated, the Pacers are lingering still, 75-64. All right, so CFL football, the regular season has begun. We're fired up for this, and we're riding the Saskatchewan Roughriders tonight. I know I talked a lot about liking the Ottawa Red Blacks this year, and I do. I think the Red Blacks are going to be very good. I think the Red Blacks could actually go to the Grey Cup this year, but This game is in Regina. It's in Saskatchewan. It's a tough road trip. The Rough Riders have a lot of like the same players back and same faces back. Ottawa are replacing a lot of dudes, but like they replaced them with good dudes. So it's not like, oh, Ottawa are starting over or anything like that. But Ottawa replaced guys, lost guys, signed new guys. They didn't really play in the preseason. So I was sort of expecting a little bit of a slower start for Ottawa. Take them a couple of weeks to get going here. And of course, what happened, Ottawa marched down the field on their first possession in their first series. It took them like 6 plays. They looked like the LA Rams with Kurt Warner. It was like, I bet the under and I bet the Riders the first drive of the game. Ottawa took like 3 minutes, marched the ball like 80 yards down the field. I was like, oh, this is just great. I hate betting on teams I don't like. And I was like, all right, don't panic. Don't panic. It's all good. It's only 7-0. And here we are right now. We got a 14-7 game for the Saskatchewan Rough Riders.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the game starts so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network, Sirius XM Channel 159. Let's do this thing. 77-66 right now for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Like I said, the Pacers are lingering, but they can't get over this sort of what the point spread actually is. It ended up closing at an even 10 when it was all said and done. It also closed at an even 230 with the total 217.5 right now. We got the total at over 230, which we're probably going to lose. And I did bet over 218.5 as well. So we're hoping to hit the 218.5. Maybe we can get a miracle backdoor cover here with the Pacers as well. So we'll keep our eye on this. Saskatchewan is up 14-7 on the Red Blacks. The CFL season has begun. But as soon as we were like, hey, look, Saskatchewan's looking good. They're up 14-7, and they have the football. Trevor Harris threw an interception. So Ottawa have the football right now, basically at midfield. So we'll keep our eye on this. And we have NFL football news, obviously, from earlier in the day today. Aaron Rodgers signs a one-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the odds makers are so impressed that the Pittsburgh Steeler win total sits at 8.5 right now for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's bring in George Kurtz, Captain Chalk in the house. We have Cam Stewart in the house. What's going on, George? How you doing?
Doing well, right? Yankees got a victory earlier today, so it's been a quiet day in Major League Baseball, but doing well. I guess, listen, if you're a Pittsburgh fan, I guess you're happy about this. At least you got somebody who's somewhat of a quarterback. Would you rather have Kirk Cousins and give up a value or draft picks to go get him?
You do know the NBA Finals are tonight too, right, Kurtz? You open up with the Yankee game, regular season.
The Yankees won today.
Yankees won 4. I have 3 baseball games on here. I do know that the NBA Finals is probably either on channel. It's either ESPN or TNT. I couldn't tell you which one.
ABC.
Well, that's sort of ESPN. They do
Same family.
Same family, but I did not know it was channel. It was ABC. I would have thought it was ESPN.
So you haven't been flicking around, obviously, at all. So if I asked you the score of the NBA Finals, you wouldn't be able to tell me, huh?
I know. Listen, from watching your show and having to work on it, I'm going to say Oklahoma City is winning because I think they have the better team from what I've heard here. But outside of that, I can't help you. And I couldn't name you one player in Oklahoma City, not one.
As Captain Chalk, you figure you should just ride Oklahoma City. That'd be your team, George. They're the big favorites, and they win every time. Like, it's pretty crazy, actually. They're 80-19 straight up on the season right now, coming into tonight. 80-19. This is their 100th game, and they're about to be 81-19, which, as I stated off the top, if you're just joining us, like, if that was the LA Lakers and LeBron, or if that was Steph Curry, or, if it was Jordan in the old days, or if, God forbid, the New York Knicks did it now. I mean, come on, New York media were ready to give medals and stuff 2 weeks ago after winning a playoff round. Now everybody gets fired after the fact, but you could really make an argument the Oklahoma City Thunder aren't getting they don't get the love that they deserve, but let's hope the Pacers can backdoor this right now. So, Cam, the Rough Riders threw the interception, but they get the football back. Like I said, Ottawa marched down the field on the first drive. It was pretty scary, actually, how easily they carved up the Rough Rider defense. And I was like, man, I hate betting unders. But, the Saskatchewan have settled down a little bit. They're getting to them right now. So the quarterback of Ottawa, Drew Brown, former Oklahoma State Cowboy, he's on the run right now. So we got ourselves a game here. Saskatchewan's winning. The clock is ticking. The Rough Riders have the football at midfield, and we got a 79-68 game right now with about a minute and a half left in the third quarter. What do you want in this basketball game, Cam?
Gabe, I got the Pacers at the start at 10, and I clicked again when it was 14.5. So I didn't actually touch the total. I got a little bit scared I know a lot of people were going to be on the over tonight. Me and you were reading each other's mail in the CFL game. It was good that Ottawa scored early because it got me a better number on Saskatchewan. We're both there, and they're driving right now. Hopefully, but I got the under 49.5 live too, Gabe. So it looks like they're already in field goal position right now with $1:30 left in the second. So I got 49.5 under and the Riders to win, buddy.
So for anybody that follows me online, you probably saw a little bit of my story. And today was just one of those days today. It's going to happen. Years ago, I would have been madder about the whole thing, but it just sort of, a couple of times a year, it is what it is. But yesterday, my computer just sort of stopped charging. And I thought it was like the cable, because my cable is like very old and rolled over and bent. And so I was like, well, I'm actually surprised it lasted this long. So I thought it was the adapter and the cable and stuff, but I had to go to the Apple store. I don't take like the public transit very often. Like when I go to sporting events sometimes, so I had to go early in the morning today. So I'm on the rush hour traffic. And of course, it's the one time I get on the train, something actually happened. They're like, oh, there's an incident and service is going to be delayed for the next 4 hours. It turned into like a 2.5-hour operation. It should have taken like 45 minutes. I'm stuck on trains. There's no way out of this thing. So I go to the Apple store. I figure, all right, everything is fine. Of course, I come back and realize it's not fine. I have to go back again. And it turned out it wasn't the adapter. The battery is dead. The battery port.
They got you.
And there's no warning, Kurtz. Like, that's what, like, is frustrating about, like, it's like modern smart TVs. You don't know they're about to break. They just don't work suddenly. And you're like, what the hell? You get all mad. So, yeah, I'm sure, George, you've had these MacBook Pros before, right? And you're like, they just don't charge anymore, huh?
The same exact thing happened. Same exact thing. It just stopped. I'm like, oh, and I thought the same thing. Oh, it's a charger. And I didn't have an extra. So I bought a new charger first. And like, oh, it's still not working. And then it's like, you go to the Apple store and they got to replace the damn thing. And I don't buy Mac. I hate Macs. I won't get a Mac anymore. I'll stick with my
These
Windows.
guys are licking their chops when they see turkeys like us go in their store, too. They're like, these guys are done. Bring your visa,
You know what
man.
reminded me of sitting in there at the Genius Bar, they call it. I'm sitting there at the Genius Bar. And it's almost like being in a garage. Like, everybody is like, grown men look like they're going to cry. There's some dude, I lost the data on my phone. And, like, the guy looked like he was in the hospital, like his loved ones. I was just sitting there thinking, all right, just don't look like this guy. It's a stupid iPhone, bro. Like, chill out. Looks like you're going to cry.
Genius Bar.
Falcons are actually relieved that he's kind of not there to create more of a distraction. Look, I mean, I said it the day it happened. It was one of the stupider decisions I've ever seen by a professional NFL franchise to sign a quarterback to a $180 million contract and then draft his replacement exactly 5 weeks later. This was a terrible organizational decision by the Falcons. Now, they're going to spin this, and this is what's annoying about the Falcons and their PR staff. They're going to spin this as if this is the plan we had all along. This is the plan that when, Kirk Cousins either got hurt or didn't play well or got too old, we were going to have Penix come in. And guess what? The new plan is now we're going to keep Kirk Cousins as a backup. So if Michael Penix gets hurt, we told you so. We were right for keeping him on the roster. We were smart for keeping him here. No, this whole thing has been an abject disaster.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
It'll be interesting to see what the Knicks do, but the Knicks are at a point now where they don't have to blow it up. They may still do so, and they have a right to do so, but with trading the 4 first-round picks and the pick swap for Mikal Bridges, the Knicks don't have a lot of room in regards to actual picks to throw at people.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
All right, the Pacers continue to linger. I am Gabriel Morency, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network. Let's do this thing. We're going to be getting ready for the fourth quarter of play here. We have an 85-76 basketball game in between the quarters here. So we got a lot of stuff going on. Stanley Cup Finals will resume tomorrow night. And listen, the schedule is never going to be perfect, but they're obviously not going to go head-to-head against each other. And the way that it plays out, it's pretty cool. We get the we're going to be pretty much on for every hockey game, actually. Like, so they're playing tomorrow night, right? The Stanley Cup Finals is back tomorrow night. Then they play Monday night, even though it's a quick, they got a long trip. And then they're off till Thursday. They're going to have an extended stay in Florida, which could be dangerous for the Oilers, actually. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but let's say the Oilers are up, end up playing too much golf in Florida. Like, I would be honest. I don't know, actually. I was just going to say, I don't want to go all Scotty Bowman, but I was going to tell him, hey, no effing golf clubs. If I see any golf clubs, like with the luggage.
They're hiding their pings. It's like, yeah, come on now. Can't we? Come on, coach.
If I see, like, even Connor McDavid, like, rolling up, hey, coach, he's got his pings with him, big Callaway bag, I'll be like,
yeah, nah. You know what?
But at the same point in time, you want him to relax. So, you know what I mean?
I'm not sure if Draisaitl, as a German, like, hits the links as much, but I got to say this. I'd let the other guys play, but there's certain guys on the team that know golf. Maybe the fourth line guys can go out and have some fun. But we need McDavid at 100% full strength and focused, because he looks like an absolute
ain't playing golf. I would tell I'd tell the people like Kurtz, anyone that's like scared of the sun. I'd be like, I swear, any of you guys got any sun issues, I don't want you going out there. Actually, Kurtz, you look like you got a little bit of a tan.
Yeah,
you look like you got a little bit of a tan this summer,
you're
Kurtz.
tanning now. Like, look at me.
What's going on?
You're tan. Yeah, you look golden.
Oh, I haven't been out in the sun in a while. Probably since I went to Florida, as far as really out in the sun here. I am going golfing next week, though. I'll be at Spring Lake, by the way, on Long Island.
Oh, nice, Kurtz. You used to have that powder look, like really
What's your
white.
handicap, Kurtz?
Yeah, well, how do you shoot?
I will not embarrass myself. How about that? But 25, 30 is by my handicap, depending on the course. Listen,
that's better. Like,
freaking 100.
You're shooting 85 or 90, you're saying? 95, 100?
Not on Bethpage Black, all right? I'm not talking about that kind of course. But on a regular Long Island course, I'll shoot around 90, yes.
Wow. Pretty impressive, Kurtz. Very impressive.
I don't overswing. I have no problem. I get on the green in 3 on most par 4s here, and I'll take a bogey. There'll be a hole where I'll screw up completely here, but I'm a very consistent.
I think what it is you're not all liquored up like people on a golf course. You're just drinking Pepsis. Everybody else is like they got rum in their Pepsis. And they're all a little bit.
Everybody, hey, swing. I went from 48 to 67 on the back 9. Damn liquor. No, for me,
I'm one of the weird people.
I play.
I just like mixing food. I don't like mixing things. I like playing golf and I like drinking. I don't like drinking and golfing like normal people do. Like I prefer to go to the golf course, and I don't mind lighting it up on the course and blazing away, but I like to go to the course and take it seriously and shoot my best. And you know what I mean? I try to play real golf.
Yeah.
Dude, like when I go and I play and I drink, man, like I buy a 4 or 5 holes in, I don't care anymore. I'm like, whatever.
Dave, I was on a bender and my buddy's at my house at 4:30. He goes, we got a tee off time. I'm wasted. He goes, you got to come. I'm like, I can't even, man. So I get in the car, whatever. I hit it like slow. I go, par. And then once the booze started, triple. That's the whole thing. Like I was actually doing good when I was wasted because I wasn't over swinging. And then once I got sober, it was a disaster. Sometimes
we did a segment earlier in the week. We told you don't drink and gamble. Now we're telling you, like, same thing with golf. Drinking and golf doesn't mix as well.
Yeah, keep in mind, with power cards.
The people I play with, they're playing for money, so they're not drinking. We all play for some coin.
Makes sense. All right, so the fourth quarter, we'll get everybody caught up to date with the Canadian Open. We'll get into the Pittsburgh Steelers with Aaron Rodgers. Like I said, their win total is 8.5. So, like the odds makers, they expected it, and they don't really seem to be overly impressed by this. I'm not overly impressed by this from a football perspective, and it's a 1-year deal. So, like basically, we know it's so you're just basically going to be in the same position you were last year, but. We all knew that Mason Rudolph couldn't be the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like how you just can't do that.
It'll be interesting to see what the Knicks do. But the Knicks are at a point now where they don't have to blow it up. They may still do so, and they have a right to do so, but with trading the 4 first-round picks and the pick swap for Mikal Bridges, the Knicks don't have a lot of room in regards to actual picks to throw at people.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you can't really, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalposts got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to beat it. This, I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8 seed.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Face. It's the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces in the NBA aren't American.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
This is Sports Rage. I'm Morency. Let's do this thing. The Pacers are still hanging around. So this could really, we're either going to backdoor this thing or the Oklahoma City Thunder are just going to pull away and end up winning by like 16. But I'm hoping to hit the in-game total. We'll get you the updated numbers here. Here's TJ McConnell doing what TJ McConnell does. Like, God, this guy wastes a lot of time. Like, it's unbelievable. I've never seen a dude like he dribbles, he goes under the basket. We all know you're not shooting. Everybody knows you're not shooting. So you go under the basket, and then you got to dribble it back out, and then you know, and this is exactly what he just did. And he nearly turned it over here. And like, it's like, dude, just hurry up. Like, you know, do your thing. Just do it quicker, okay? like I don't understand. Everybody praises him all the time. I guess I'll say it. Is it because he's white? Because he's like, is it because he's white? I don't know. Oh, this is what TJ McConnell does. Takes it to the basket. He scores 4 points a game. Richard Jefferson. Nobody penetrates to the rack. What do you mean nobody penetrates to the rack like TJ McConnell? Like, I don't know, Kyrie Irving does. I'll tell you, Giannis does. Like, I'll give you a million guys better. Like, they do. But it's just, I don't know, like they just like him, Ken, because he's the white grinder. You know what I mean? He's that small
yeah, he is the total grinder. Remember Pat Connaughton's bar and tavern there? Like that guy, hey, it's like, he's awful.
He cost me missing a free throw once. I've never forgave him.
That's the best.
He had wide open 3 in garbage time like twice. That's what it was in the playoffs this year. Yeah, you know, he doesn't play anymore. Poor guy hasn't played. I think he's drunk. He's sitting at the end of the bench drinking a drink. All right, get in there, Connaughton. He just started bombing away, and it was like brick. I was like, you son of a bitch. You're making like $4 million a year, bro. Can you hit one shot? Just hit one shot. Like, you know what I mean? In garbage time. I needed like 2 points. I was like, just hit one basket. Can you do that? No. I swear to every time I look at Oklahoma City, their lovies there, I always think it's St. Hubert Chicken. Looks like the St. Hubert Chicken logo. There's a great chicken franchise. George would be a fan of it, actually. It'd be very good.
He would be. I prefer St. Hubert over Swiss Chalet for all you Canadians.
Rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, rotisserie birds. Beautiful. Better sauce, too. It's got more flavor.
they do it for like 4 hours or something. It spins around and like they're not playing
I dreamed
around.
about buying one of those rotisseries in my house, Morency, and just putting a bunch of birds on it and let them just sit there and stare at them all day, like the Fireplace Channel.
Funny, you dreamed about buying a rotisserie for the house. I was talking about it online the other day. I said, yeah, if I had a lot of money, I'd buy a St. Hubert franchise.
I just want the rotisserie.
I watched them eat it. I was thinking about selling it. I was like, man, it really bothered me because there's none of them in Vancouver. So I was like, man, if I open one, I guarantee you it would do well. I was like thinking, there's no way it wouldn't do well. It would do well. So I'm like, man, how much is a franchise anyways? Then I started thinking, I don't know if I need the stress of running a franchise restaurant. I'd be like Mo's family feedback. That guy, look at that guy. He's gonna blow. His head's about to explode. I want to get in on Texas Tech and Texas. We got a really good game going on. Kurtz, you're a baseball guy. You're not watching the Women's World Series. You're a softball.
I will watch that at times because I do like baseball. I do find it intriguing. And by the way, I've batted against some of these women. Unbelievable how fast that ball comes in. And they can really fire. I don't understand how they can get fired that hard, but they fire that thing really hard. But it is fun to watch here.
It's harder to hit than a baseball. Like it's
I don't
next to
know
impossible.
I can hit a baseball either, by the way. But a baseball, I'm not worried about getting killed.
Yeah, but put it this way.
I'm not worried about getting killed.
Did you ever see remember Jenny Finch? And they're better than Jenny Finch is now. But remember Jenny Finch? She schooled A-Rod. Like A-Rod couldn't hit it. Like he couldn't get the bat around him fast enough because she's closer, right?
He need to be trained to hit that again. If he was training for it, he would hit it eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
Really difficult.
But it's actually like when you take into account they're closer and the speed, it turns into like 108 miles an hour type thing. Like it's fast. We did a bit. There was a guy. He's a lot like Wetzel actually. The Big E Eric Home. I could do this, and I used to play football, and he did everything. This guy. So he said great softball player. He told us, Kurtz, a great baseball player as a kid, and like very sexist guy too at the time, right? Like, a woman, like, yeah. So I actually set him up. I actually got the best 15-year-old junior national pitcher of Team Canada. I don't know how. It was Bronstetter pulled it off. So we actually got her to show up with her coach and we filmed it. And he didn't get a hit. He did what he did. He fouled one off. That was the best that he did. He fouled a couple of straight up in the cage type thing. He might have squibbed one down the third baseline, but he got clowned by like a 15-year-old girl. And he was scared. You could hear the ball like coming in. So when you can hear it, I remember when I was a kid playing, there was this pitcher, this big dude on another team, and I was like 11 years old, 12 years old, man, and you could hear the ball curves coming in. I was like, dear God, it's like facing Nolan Ryan. And I realized I was like, swing right away or you don't have a hope in hell. And then he struck me out twice. The third time up, I bunted and I got on. I realized I'm not hitting this guy. I bunted
How do people realize how fast that thing's coming in that you have no time to react? I mean, it's just. I always wonder how the hitters do it. Are you just swinging and hoping you hit because you're swinging early here because you? Actually, it's a split second there. It's very impressive.
The players, that's when they get into the whole guessing game, George. Right? Like they really are thinking he's going to throw that pitch now to me, and they're counting on it. You don't have it's reactionary, really. I mean, so fast. All right, so we'll get into the Stanley Cup Finals in a couple of minutes. Speaking of baseball, any late night baseball bets for you guys going on here?
Well, we got 2 games left. I'm on the under in Houston, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, right. There's no late game tonight.
That Royals game's got a lot of runs. 7-5 Kansas City, and now Pittsburgh's up on Houston 1-0, bottom 3. That's it.
They just scored.
I was so fired up for the NBA and the CFL today, and I don't like the getaway days. Not a fan of it. I know Wednesday is the day that I bet the least baseball, and then today, Thursday, whatever. Like the Wednesday, it used to be set in stone. It was like the Sunday. I don't know about you guys.
there's noon starts at Eastern. You got to get up at 9 a.m. with breakfast and start putting in baseball bets. If you have a long night, it's different because that's the whole thing. They start pretty early. Some of those, like that Colorado-Miami series, they start early.
Oh, yeah, that was early. I couldn't believe it. I know. On the West Coast, I woke up. It was like 11 o'clock here in the morning. I'm like, Rockies complete sweep. I'm like, when do you guys start this game? 8 a.m.? It's early here. Like, what's going on? But no, I was going to say, and I always knew this, covering the Expos, I sort of picked up a lot of like inside, sort of behind the scenes things of that. And like the Sunday, the day games, they don't do batting practice. Like basically, like, for every baseball team, like the game is at 7 o'clock. They have to be there 5 hours before the game. I'll just cut to the chase. So they got to be there 5 hours before the game. All right. Which is a long time, man. Like it adds up. They have to face the media at 3 o'clock. They have to be in the room by 2 o'clock. They have to be in uniform by 3 o'clock. And the game's at 7 o'clock. So it's pretty annoying. But they basically hang around the clubhouse playing video games all day. But the thing is, when they're playing these like noon games or 1 o'clock in the afternoon games, they're not going to tell them, oh, you got to be here 5 hours before at 6 in the morning. Suddenly they got to be there 2 hours before type of deal. There's no batting practice. Guys are not like all eating together with the team breakfast. They're rolling into, at different times type of deal. People don't play. Like the starting lineup is always weird on these days because whatever, people are sitting. I just don't like betting these. What about you, Kurtz? I know Cam bets every day, no matter what. He doesn't care. Getaway day, arrive day.
Every day. Actually, like getaway day. It gets me refreshed early. Lots of action.
I would say these are good for underdogs. Like I would just say, yeah, you know what? Roll the dice with the dog.
Falcons are actually relieved that he's kind of not there to create more of a distraction. Look, I mean, I said it the day it happened. It was one of the stupider decisions I've ever seen by a professional NFL franchise to sign a quarterback to a $180 million contract and then draft his replacement exactly 5 weeks later. This was a terrible organizational decision by the Falcons. Now, they're going to spin this, and this is what's annoying about the Falcons and their PR staff. They're going to spin this as if this is the plan we had all along. This is the plan that when, Kirk Cousins either got hurt or didn't play well or got too old, we were going to have Penix come in. And guess what? The new plan is now we're going to keep Kirk Cousins as a backup. So if Michael Penix gets hurt, we told you so. We were right for keeping him on the roster. We were smart for keeping him here. No, this whole thing has been an abject disaster.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
It'll be interesting to see what the Knicks do, but the Knicks are at a point now where they don't have to blow it up. They may still do so, and they have a right to do so, but with trading the 4 first-round picks and the pick swap for Mikal Bridges, the Knicks don't have a lot of room in regards to actual picks to throw at people.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. The pits, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, everybody else in between. All right, we're rocking it here. It's the Thursday night throwdown. Kiev O'Neal's going to step up and in a little bit later on. Talk a little college baseball, actually. We'll get you caught up to date with the College Baseball World Series odds. And it was whacked out, guys. 13 teams from the SEC were in the regionals last week. 9 of them lost. 9 of the SEC teams lost and didn't even make it to Omaha. And people are like, oh, you know, the SEC set a record, most teams eliminated. Yeah, but they also set a record for most teams in a tournament to begin with. So, listen, you send 13 teams, right? They're not all going to win. So it is what it is. But it was shocking, actually, that so many of the heavyweights got knocked out. This thing's wide open. And one thing, too, and I kind of knew it last week when we were breaking it down, I didn't think any of these West Coast teams were getting enough love, actually. You know what I mean? It's like these guys can play. Like everybody, SEC, ACC. Let's not forget about the big Wests of the world, Cam. You know what I'm saying? And Arizona made it.
Yep.
Lou last week didn't even believe his own team was going to make it. Arizona made it through. Now they're a Big 12 team right now, but they're a West Coast team. Like Arizona's a good baseball program. Like, they just didn't get the love. So guys, we'll go over the numbers with Kiev after, but I'm telling you, I'm just going to blindly bet every underdog like this weekend in Omaha. I'm just taking every underdog.
Let's also think about this.
Besides LSU, I think LSU is going to win it all.
LSU's very good. But these narratives that these guys put out are all wrong. Again, it's like, oh, these teams in the West suck. What happened, Gabe? I never forget that. They blasted the Pac-12 back in the day for the NCAA tournament. Oregon State went on their longest run in school history. Every one of their teams went deep. UCLA was amazing. It's the whole same thing. Every time it's like, oh, SEC is going to do this and that. And then they crap the bed. And the teams that they're ripping actually go through. It's funny. These narratives never come through.
Well, yes and no, because I think that an SEC team is still probably going to end up winning it all. That'll be the telltale sign.
The quantity of the SEC teams, the fact that all those are out is shocking.
And the same thing happened with the SEC in basketball this year. They were freaking dominant, and they ended up winning. They did end up winning the title when it was all said and done. All right, so the Pacers are still hanging around, guys. Like, suddenly they're not going away. This is kind of going exactly the way that I thought it would in Oklahoma City. Like I thought, Oklahoma City blow everybody out normally, but I don't think, I think the Pacers are good enough not to get blown out. I didn't think the Pacers really had that same sort of quit in them. And they're hanging so much so that they're down by 4 right now, 98-94. Wow, this thing's getting real. No, I don't think they will win.
500 on the money line. I'm so tempted.
I'm not saying they can. There's 6 minutes left still. There's a lot of time left. I will say this, the total is starting to come into play, guys. I bet the over 230, and remember I said a couple of minutes ago, I'm going to lose. And I said, well, I did bet over 218.5 to try to make up for it. It's 226.5 now. Starting to get there a little bit. All right, so Stanley Cup Finals. And I'm doing this old school, guys. I talked about it last night. I don't really have I don't have a bunch of computers and internet and all this. My brain is the internet on this. But I do have a good memory about things. And I talked about the numbers a lot last night. Teams that win game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals win the series 76% of the time. Teams that win game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals on their home ice go on to win the series 84% of the time. Last night was the 19th time that a Stanley Cup Finals game went to overtime. 14 of the 18 times the team that won went on to win. I should note game 1. 14 of the 18 times the team that won the game in overtime went on to win the series. The numbers, Kurtz, are all on the Edmonton Oilers side right now. And as good as the Florida Panthers are, I think the Oilers are about to beat them, bro. The Oilers aren't playing around. They're 13-2 in their last 15 games right now.
You know how I feel. I got the Oilers in 6, and I'm kind of wondering maybe they get this done in 5 in a little bit here. Probably got me wishful thinking a little bit there.
We're all getting cocky. I said that before the series. I was the first one. 5. Remember 5, I said.
King Kong Bunny, 5.
I think McDavid knows he needs, hey, I got to take this over. I want to cement my legacy and all that stuff here. Loved how the Oilers played last night. It was a great game. It was a lot of fun to watch that game last night here. So, yeah, I don't feel any differently about the Oilers. I think they're going to get the job done here. I'm still going to stick with 6 games. I think they win tomorrow night again. So I'm gonna listen. Every bet I had for game one, with the exception of maybe the third period getting more than a goal and a half, I'll see about that one because the price is still pretty. You're laying a lot of juice there, but I'm gonna have McDavid to get 2+ points here. Draisaitl to score a goal. I may go with Evander Kane as an anytime goal scorer. More of a gut feel than anything else there, but I do like kind of Kane there. We'll play Sam Bennett again as well. He's really been the best Florida Panthers forward throughout the playoffs here. He's going to make a ton of money, whether it's a Florida or another team during the offseason. He's played that well here, and I'm going to take the Oilers to win the game.
He's going to get overpaid. The Panthers are able to keep his now.
Because I think he's going to stay with Florida. He's going to stay there for somewhat of a discount.
Well, they have the advantage of the tax. That's where the tax stuff comes into play. When people, it's not an advantage. That's when it comes into play. Because let's say if you're Bennett and people love him, and they're like, all right, dude, we'll give you 10 mil, which is pretty freaking high for him. All right. Because he's not a stat guy, but like he's worth 10 mil. So let's say, all right, we'll give you 10 mil. He could say, Florida, George could offer him 8. And he could say, you know what, I'm going to make more for getting 8 here than I would 10 playing in Vancouver. Because the Canucks want him badly. He's from Vancouver too. Right. And it's just one of those, they're trying to get him, like they'd like to do it. But they can't keep everybody, Florida guys. They can't keep everybody, right? But Brad Marchand seems to be the one that I saw an interview with him about, have you thought about the future? And he goes, I'd be lying to you. He's really honest. He goes, I'd be lying to you. He goes, yeah, I've thought about playing, about like what my different scenarios would be. And then they asked, would you play for a Canadian team? And he goes, I've thought about it. He's kind of grinned. It's going to be convenient.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalposts got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to be this. I'll say this. This is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8th seed.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Face. It's the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're the face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces of the NBA aren't American.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
And if you go through Cat, that means Cat at 11-1 could be Eastern Conference Finals MVP. The worst team in the WNBA is the Chicago Sky. They have no perimeter play. They're playing Sloot too many minutes. And Angel Reese doesn't have the help she needs.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
This is Sports Rage. I am Morency. All right, we got. come on, Pascal. Pascal Siakam just missed a free throw. 106-98, 3:08 left. Man, I saw Siakam. No one's defended Siakam like I have. He's my guy. Love him. But if Siakam, like, he's a star player, he's not a superstar player. If he could, like, learned. I don't know why he doesn't get better at taking threes. In a modern NBA, like I say, he's not a great 3-point shooter. And for whatever reason, he just missed 2 free throws. Like now,
he misses free throws all the time.
And not close. Like he just hit like what, and you can tell like a bad free throw shooter, guys, if the shots are like both the shots were different too. like he missed once off the back, sort of a hard, sort of off the backboard. And then the second time he just missed short, which means, all right, he's thinking, all right, I just shot it too hard. It's like, what are you thinking anything for, bro? Like, dude, just get up there and freaking shoot it. Like, it's a free throw. I don't know. There was a lane violation. So now he's shooting another one. Is he going to miss, Cam? You say he misses or makes it?
Yeah, he'll make one.
I say he makes this one. He
makes it.
It wouldn't shock me if he misses it, actually, though.
He'll hit it.
All right, George Kurtz with us had a hot take during the break. I wish we had more time with you, Kurtz. We got a couple of minutes here. Brad Marchand. I talked about seeing the interview with him. Very interesting interview. And he was very, introspective, and it was funny. He talked about Ekblad. He said that out of everyone like in the room, that him and Ekblad didn't get along the most. They said, what was it like when you showed up and you walked into the room for the first time? And he said he walked up to me, and all he said is, "This is effing strange," and walked away. I like the way he goes, yeah, he goes, I was a little bit like, wow. And like, because he goes, it was awkward. Like, dude, like Marchand's like lick people, spit at people, bitten people. And then he's got to walk into your room. And he even said, I didn't know what it was going to be like, man. And he goes, I really got into it with a couple of these guys over the years. He started laughing. He goes, but after a couple of days, I was one of the guys. And like, but he sounded very like, it's like a 1-year thing. Like he's excited for free agency, etc. See the options that are out there. And George has some good takes, but I think this is a crazy one. George Kurtz says that he goes back to the Boston Bruins.
Are they just going to, they're not going to rebuild here. You still got Pasternak, right? You still got several other veterans there as far as Lindholm's there, Zaka's there. He's Boston through and through. Don't get me wrong. There'll be other teams interested in him. And I love your idea of him going to Toronto here. But I think he might take a little bit less to go to Boston, maybe in the 6.5 range. So let's say 3 years, $19 million, somewhere around there. Is Boston going to pack it in? If you're going to pack it in, then you might as well trade Pasternak, right? Because by the time you get good again, then he's done. I think they still might feel they can make a run if they sign someone like Marchand and add. They'd have to add to. They have to get more than just him here. But yeah, I think he's going to end up back in Boston.
How about this? This will be sacrilegious for Bruin fans, and it'll upset Cam and Leaf Nation. Brad Marchand, a Montreal Canadian.
It could actually happen.
I don't think he's going to a team that's not there. He's going to want to play for a Stanley Cup contender, and the Canadians are getting better.
Montreal is not far away from being a Stanley Cup contender.
What about Ottawa?
Montreal are better than Ottawa, in my opinion. Look at the young stars Montreal has. They just need a couple of vets to put them over the top now.
I think someone.
And Eastern Conference isn't that good.
I just think
I just don't think he plays in Canada because of money.
Cup now. That's why Toronto makes sense.
If he's already won the cup, though, George, like I don't think like he's not hell bent.
What's he playing? He's not playing for money. He doesn't need the money. It's all about winning.
What team would he be about winning then? Like what? What team would he be about winning?
Toronto makes sense. Florida going back. I just don't think
when's Toronto won? Like Montreal are closer to winning than Toronto are. Toronto are never going to win, bro. Like they're just like Montreal are like 2 years away from taking the East over.
Montreal,
the only team that's
getting
Florida,
Gabe. Like they're a good young team, but they haven't gone as far as they're. It's going to take them a couple of years, don't you think, to get to where they are?
And beat them a couple of years ago.
That was years ago, but
you're telling me you would rather have the Leafs roster with Austin Matthews than having the Russian superstar kid that they have with Lane Hudson, who's like one of the best young defensive players in the league, Cole Caulfield, Nick Suzuki.
I'd rather have the Montreal roster in a couple of years.
Is much more suited to win in the next couple of years than the Leafs. Like the Leafs better win like now, but they don't. Like so, I don't know. Eventually, the window.
Falcons are actually relieved that he's kind of not there to create more of a distraction. Look, I mean, I said it the day it happened. It was one of the stupider decisions I've ever seen by a professional NFL franchise to sign a quarterback to a $180 million contract and then draft his replacement exactly 5 weeks later. This was a terrible organizational decision by the Falcons. Now, they're going to spin this, and this is what's annoying about the Falcons and their PR staff. They're going to spin this as if this is the plan we had all along. This is the plan that when, Kirk Cousins either got hurt or didn't play well or got too old, we were going to have Penix come in. And guess what? The new plan is now we're going to keep Kirk Cousins as a backup. So if Michael Penix gets hurt, we told you so. We were right for keeping him on the roster. We were smart for keeping him here. No, this whole thing has been an abject disaster.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The Steelers' interest in Aaron Rodgers as a joke. Your boy went off about the entire situation and why it taken so long to forget him. Terry Bradshaw getting involved.
Yeah, and saying basically, what are you bringing him in for 1 year? All of this drama for 1 year at this guy, where he is now in his career is he's washed.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. Level 2. Let's do this thing. Sirius XM Channel 159, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network. Fun stuff with George Kurtz. Quickest 120 minutes in sports talk and television. And pretty wild stuff, man, all throughout the playoffs. Like, how many times, like, with the Pacers and Knicks, I remember, like, we even talked, I think it was the same night, actually. Kiev came on instantly, maybe, if I remember it. But I think it was. Like, remember, like, they were both blowouts, and then it was reversed. Remember it was like Edmonton Oilers, and Edmonton Oilers were winning like 3-0 against the Dallas Stars. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go back to the basketball game. And then the basketball game was like, oh, man, it's a 16-point lead with like 4 minutes left. And then I went back to the hockey game, and it was 3-3. And then I went back to the basketball game, and it was a close game. You can never give up on these games. Kiev O'Neill steps up in it. Kiev, it's pretty crazy. You can't give up on these games, huh?
Oh my God, man. The end of the games over the last 2 or 3 weeks have been absolutely amazing. And yeah, I've been here for a few of them, and it's fun to watch with you guys, man. I'm happy because, I was playing Plinko with my Pacers +9. I think barring nasty overtime, I'm going to be all right.
Costco is selling that game, actually, for The Price is Right. You can get it in like your yard if you want it.
Oh, that's cool.
I should put it in my living room. Get some people over, play for money, start throwing the board.
Like people play cornhole. That game gets boring after a while. Plinko's different. It's all over the place and stuff. You can make bets. Yeah, Plinko's cool, man. You got to get
I like on The Price is Right, the little Swiss guy climbing up the hill by himself. I like to get the Swiss mountain.
Yeah, then he falls off the mountain. Great game.
He's going
that
up.
guy's the best.
He gets to the top. It's like, oh.
Yeah, they do the yodeling, and then bam, he's right off the mountain. Sorry, you overbid.
Great show. I remember everybody as a kid was always hoping for a swimsuit showcase showdown. I was hoping it was a speedboat or a vacation at the end.
Excellent choice.
So
always want a beach, baby. Always want a beach.
No. They just did it.
Yes, the Pacers. Yes,
again. You can't make it. I was like, no. There's 0.3 seconds left.
Money line.
111-110. 111-110. The Pacers have just taken a 1-point lead with 0.3 seconds left, everybody.
Oh, my God. Gambler, I want to embrace you.
I had some money line.
Amazing.
I had some money line. Let's go.
You did, eh? Ballsy.
I wish I put more on it now.
I didn't do the money line, but I did it right before the game, Cam, and I talked about it, Kiev. I know you probably liked it too. The Pacers plus 2.5 in the series, minus 110. And I was like, I'm taking the Pacers tonight plus the points. And I was like, this is ballsy. And I should maybe wait to take the Pacers plus 2.5 after they lose a couple of games in Oklahoma City. But then I was like, what if they win tonight? I'm going to be real mad if I didn't get this bet in. And I got the bet in.
I'm
So I
going to
got
tell
the
you
Pacers
something
plus
too.
2.5 games now, man. I just got to win one more game and I win the bet now.
Oh, you know how many people, Gabe, have this at the back end of their parlays with like the Oilers and other things just going down the list? Like this is a parlay buster, man. People get they're
I did a
crying.
TikTok video today giving my picks for this game tonight, and comments right away. Thunder and 4, Thunder and 5. Sorry, Morency.
You tell that story.
I mean, a lot of people were saying. I thought that the upset was ripe for tonight. I did a little 80-1 picking Pacers in 6 too. They had to win this first game, lose the second, and win the next 2, lose the 5th, and then win the 6th. Right? So why not? Let's have some fun.
Man, that's bold, Cam? Because I thought I was bold. I said Oilers in 5, and everybody was like, before the series, I said Oilers in 5. They're like, wow, in 5. Pacers in 6. That's like iron balls play right there.
You know what? Stick to your guns.
You had to pick the exact games to get the 80-1. Otherwise,
yeah. Oh, the scenario. You need the scenario to go. Yeah.
The thing is, guys, you guys know the world's on Oklahoma City. That's the whole thing. And the Pacers are good, Gabe. You've talked about it a lot. They're deep. They never quit. They can come back from deficits. They have a lot of hell. They had so many turnovers in the first half, and they still come back in this game. They didn't even play a perfect game. They were very bad early in this game. Siakam missing shots, and they still get it done. They're a dangerous team, man. Oklahoma City, you're going to be in for a fight.
That's the thing, Cam. That's the thing with the Pacers. We've seen this, guys. They turned the ball over 8 times in the first 7 minutes tonight. Like, they were bad. And we've seen this, Kiev, from in the past in the playoffs with the Pacers. They could be bad for a quarter and a half or even the first half. They won't quit. Like, they'll keep grinding, and they'll eventually break through more often than not and chip away. This is like the 5th or 6th time we've seen them do this in the playoffs, man.
It's absolutely unreal with this team. They are so clutch. Halliburton, Siakam, these guys are clutch guys. These are the guys you want on your team. The guys are finishers, my man. That is what I've been seeing. Remember last time I talked to you guys, I said I've been riding this team. I know you have as well, Gabe. I mean, this is what you want. The guys that are not afraid to finish with that ball, and that's really what makes champions.
People look at X's and O's a lot in records. And it's done. They tried to alley-oop it into Chet Holmgren. It's done. The Pacers steal game 1, 111-110 on the road. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Game was under the number, but I hit my in-game over 218.5 still. And I went big on the Pacers tonight. And we took the Pacers plus 2.5. Hell of a bet on the money line. Did you take it before the game, or you jumped in-game, Kiev, on the Pacers money line tonight?
Pre-game, whenever I like a dog, plus 3.5 or more, I always put a little bit on the money line. Sometimes I go a little bit more and I'll get it up to a half unit. This one I didn't. But you know what? I mean, it's always nice to do that, because if you like the spread anyway, you might have a little bit of value on the money line. If I'm betting a spread, it's because I'm 2 or 3 points off, which is enough to adjust the money line to where it should be positive EV, right? So that's why I always put a little bit on the money line on any spread over 3.5.
Man, well, we can't complain, can we, Cam? Look, we were on the Edmonton Oilers last night and the Pacers tonight. Nice way to start both finals.
I only had $40 in my account because it's all riding on the CFL game. I just threw it on the money line and it paid $250. So I'm all right. Thanks. More Canadian Open bets, Gabe. Roll it over on the go.
How many Canadian Open bets do you have active?
Active right now? Let's see. What do you think the over-under is?
Well, all the first round stuff is already done.
Yeah,
so I'll say you still have like 17. No, that's a little light. I'm going to say that you have 22 Canadian Open bets.
I have 23 and another one too.
Wow.
20. That's amazing.
I'm a good FBI profiler, Kiev. I'm telling you, I can read this guy.
He's my profiler. He knows what I'm betting.
There you go.
Big afternoon nap, hit top 5 first round too. Gabe paid like $400. So good start to the Canadian Open.
You know that dude Odds the Mentalist? I'm sure you guys have seen him.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen him, Keith? So he's like a
love that guy.
He's not a magician. He's like, I don't know, I guess he just sort of he messes with you. He's sort of like a magician, but he doesn't make things disappear. He's like he reads like your mind type stuff. But like it's really crazy. Every sports team has brought him in. Like every team will bring him in to have some fun during the week and blow the players' minds and stuff. But he was on Joe Rogan's show this week, and he guessed Joe Rogan's PIN number just randomly, Cam. It freaked Rogan out. Like it freaked Rogan out. Like Rogan was like, "Hey, don't," because he goes, "I bet you your first number, your PIN, Rogan. I know you. It would be 1." Rogan kind of like got scared looking, and he goes, "I see you're worried. I'm going to be right." He goes, "I'll write it down so not the world doesn't know your PIN number." And he shows it to Rogan, and Rogan's like freaked out. He's like, "How the F do you know that? That's impossible." And basically,
last 4 digits of his phone number or something, right?
Basically, how to read your mind and how you think.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Touchdown Rough Riders. Would have been better if they would have stopped them, but Buddy on the Rough Riders just ran over like 4 players into the end zone. God, I hate betting on the unders. We're going to be on the right side of the Rough Riders. It's they just blew the game open, which is a problem. It's 30-14 right now, but there's still like 4 minutes left in the third quarter. So like our total's in trouble.
You know what?
But we're on the Rough Riders.
Get 3 points. Like say they get 34. Yeah, crazier things have happened, but there's way too much left.
The touchdown kills us. I got it
Yeah.
teased. I'm hoping for the teaser, Cam. I got under 54.5. That's what I'm praying for here.
If people bust your nuts about teasers, now I wish I had a teaser in my pocket. At least I got points to play with. Now and touchdown, I'm dead. I like.
I bet you that's what the total is too. What's the total now of the game? Let's just see. Oh, they locked the total. It's 16.5, the point spread right now. They'll have a total back up in a second here. Kiev O'Neill kicking it with us. Says he's taking Florida, but not a hockey expert, but going to be bouncing on Florida. I'll just give you a warning. Edmonton Oilers, 13-2 in their last 15 games, Kiev. Smoking hot team right now. But let's get into college baseball. I brought it up earlier, and I know you like this stuff. And, man, 13 SEC teams in the tournament last week in the regionals. 9 of them get bounced, Kiev. 9 of the 13 get eliminated. Unbelievable, huh?
Well, absolutely. You know, and it makes me smile as a Big Ten fan after all you see. It just means more, right? It just means more. Yeah, losing means more to us for sure. So thank you, SEC. Keep them coming. Yeah, some leagues is just too full of themselves, and you know they don't. It kind of treats a little bit of a trend where they're just kind of taking everybody not so seriously, and that's probably what happened. They got in their own heads, and you got these teams like Coastal Carolina, you know, out there, Murray State, you know, out there just trying their butts off here and just, you know, getting it done, right? I mean, I imagine how many parlays got busted for the books for all the, you know, people betting those SEC college series props, right? And, you know, the truth is, the fact, I do think it's still probably going to come from the SEC, the championship. And, you know, what I'm looking at is some series prices right now in college baseball. I will say that I think Murray State is at plus 290 right now, does have a chance. I got to pull up the odds here. I believe they're playing Duke here. You know,
plus
they're
300 now. Duke minus 400,
plus
Murray
300.
State plus 300, Murray State plus 2.5 runs, plus 100, 12.5 is the total.
Yeah, I mean, they're 11th in scoring. I like that. Their pitching isn't bad. It hasn't been terrible. They're playing with a little bit of momentum. I know there's some travel here, and you know, to get through the Super Regional, you know, you got to play in Durham, in North Carolina there, and so you know, you got to overcome that here. But I think Murray State still has a shot here. You know, I think they can get over to Omaha, and you know, I'll put a little bit on them. A couple teams that I think, if you want to do a parlay, I do like LSU. Now, obviously, they're the biggest odds right here, but LSU is, you know, they're 6th in hitting, top 6 in hitting. They have good pitching, and they have the easiest, you know, way out of here. And I think West Virginia just, you know, that this is their last stop, and LSU should take care of business pretty easily. I like LSU, and I'm going to partner them up with Louisville. I think Louisville's a little underpriced right here against Miami. Miami's really nothing here. Louisville is a pretty good team. Miami's only 160th in scoring this year, 160th. You know, it's just not even enough to where you're going to be able to compete in Louisville. So you got 160 right there. And the other leg I'm going to go with is North Carolina. I think they take care of Arizona. Arizona's got to go, you know, all the way to Chapel Hill, right? That's pretty far for Arizona. Don't get me wrong. Arizona was great to get out of the first bracket here, but in this case, North Carolina's just got better pitching, ranking 8th in hits allowed, and North Carolina, you know, should be able to take care of business right there. And I think that parlay pays at plus 160. So I'm looking at these 3 teams to advance and get to the next, get to Omaha.
North Carolina minus 350 favorites. So this game's at noon Eastern tomorrow, guys. Friday, noon Eastern. North Carolina minus 350. Arizona plus 260. Total 10.5. Miami, Florida plus 135. The Ville minus 165. That game's at 3 o'clock Eastern. Florida State and Oregon State. It's a good one. Beavers minus 120. Florida State minus 110. Total 11.5. Coastal Carolina plus 130. Auburn minus 160. As Kiva alluded to, Murray State plus 300 against the Duke Blue Devils, minus 400, 12.5 is the total. West Virginia plus 230, LSU minus 310, Tennessee and Arkansas. So we're going to have another SEC team getting bounced here. Tennessee and Arkansas. Arkansas minus 170, Tennessee plus 140. Texas San Antonio still alive, and so are the UCLA Bruins. There's some Big Ten baseball. Traditional Big Ten power, UCLA. Kiev, minus 185. And I said the same thing to Cam actually about the SEC, and he said, "Oh, the SEC this and that too." I said, "Yeah, but when it's all said and done, they're probably still going to end up winning it." And I liked LSU coming into this thing actually, and they were like plus 550, plus 600. I see they're plus 325 right now. Kiev, if you had to pick one team, would you say the LSU Tigers? I mean, they're the most complete team, and these guys have like top 10 picks, Major League Baseball picks still.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they are number 6 in hits allowed per 9 innings. I mean, they've been fantastic there, and the teams above them already have been bounced. Guys, teams like Vanderbilt, Oregon, Texas, right? They're fantastic pitching over there, and that's really what's going to get it done. But LSU also can hit the ball, and to be honest with you, their hits would be better if their pitching wasn't so good at the end anyway, in my opinion. That they still top 49 in hitting, and they're the most complete team, and that they have the resume and the recipe, I should say, to get farther. And obviously they have the easiest coming out when you're facing West Virginia. So absolutely, I'm on LSU as well.
I think people, think, Paul Skeen's not there and Dylan Cruz not there anymore. Well, they got new Skeens guys. Like they got another guy that's like number 1 pitching prospect. Could be the number 1 pick in the upcoming draft, actually. All right, we got a couple of more minutes left on the other side. With Kieva, we'll get into some UFC big card this week. We've been, like this.
Falcons are actually relieved that he's kind of not there to create more of a distraction. Look, I mean, I said it the day it happened. It was one of the stupider decisions I've ever seen by a professional NFL franchise to sign a quarterback to a $180 million contract and then draft his replacement exactly 5 weeks later. This was a terrible organizational decision by the Falcons. Now, they're going to spin this, and this is what's annoying about the Falcons and their PR staff. They're going to spin this as if this is the plan we had all along. This is the plan that when, Kirk Cousins either got hurt or didn't play well or got too old, we were going to have Penix come in. And guess what? The new plan is now we're going to keep Kirk Cousins as a backup. So if Michael Penix gets hurt, we told you so. We were right for keeping him on the roster. We were smart for keeping him here. No, this whole thing has been an abject disaster.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
Rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of thoughts.
18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The Steelers' interested in Aaron Rodgers as a joke. Your boy went off about the entire situation and why it taken so long to forget him. Terry Bradshaw getting involved.
Yeah, and saying basically, what are you bringing him in for 1 year? All of this drama for 1 year at this guy, where he is now in his career, is he's washed.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
All right, so it's finals week this week. Fortunately, we don't have classes to go to, but NHL finals, NBA finals, actually UFL playoffs this weekend as well. But we also have a big UFC card this week. And I'm aware of all these fights because they've been promoting this card for a while, actually, at the previous press conferences. And I've actually been tired of seeing Harrison and Pena talk. Kiev. I'm like, dude, your girl's ever going to fight? You've been talking for 6 months, whatever it feels like forever.
Yeah.
All right. So as long as it's up, good job, guys, on the screen there. As long as it's up on the screen there, what do you think about that fight? Like I said, Pena talks a big game. Can she handle? Is the number too big?
The number's too big to take it straight up, but I think this is why you got to get creative here. A couple things that I noticed about Harrison. She is probably the next bantamweight champion, right? Unless Nunez comes back, obviously magically. This is it. She's getting it, on Saturday, and I think she does get it. But I also think that Pena is, shown that she's been very tough. She's a tough out, and you saw that against Nunez. She got Nunez in that one match. Obviously, Nunez is one of her only blemishes, unless you go way back into the early 2010s, right? And the truth is that Nunez just had a baby with her partner, right? And she was just completely gassed and didn't take that fight seriously. Then Nunez comes back and kind of beat the crap out of Pena a bit, but that's just Nunez. But Pena didn't go out, man. She lasted the whole 5 rounds, and Kayla Harrison isn't exactly. I don't think she's refined enough to be taking a lot of fighters out. I mean, if you look at her last 3 fights, they all went to decision. Even the one that she lost to Pacheco in the PFL, that went to decision. So, Holly Holm was the only one that she took out, and Holly Holm was past her prime in that situation. Caitlin Vera, obviously, we saw her just sit on Macy Chiasson last week, and that's all she had to do. She was the one that was more beat up last week, but all you had to do was sit on her. But, this is a situation where Kayla Harrison's probably going to win by decision, and you can take that price from -800 all the way to +220, just by taking Kayla Harrison by decision. And if you're not completely sure about that, take over 4.5. If you shop around, you can get a +170. That way, either fighter could win, and the fight's almost going to go to the distance at 4.5, and you're still getting plus money. Pena, like I said, put big fight up against Nunez. I think she lasts the 5 rounds. I think, she's been around to train and get her lungs and get her gas tank in shape for this one. So I like Pena to last for 5 rounds.
So the main event as well, tough to play straight up at the number, -275. Some people will play -275, but O'Malley is +225. What do you think about this fight and how you approaching this one? O'Malley said that he's given up Instagram and that he stopped smoking weed before this fight. And he smoked a lot of weed, and he spent a lot of time on Instagram before. So he's trying to get more serious this time around. Will it be different?
It reminds me of that movie Half Baked, man. Quit smoking weed. I don't think that's going to matter.
Start smoking.
Let's face it here. Merab's just a great all-around fighter. Even though he gives up a lot of size, he has that one little move where he puts his head down and puts his left arm up somehow and just gets in there without getting hit. He throws punches and lands them. And O'Malley, technically you'd think, is the longer, rangier fighter, but Merab's just going to take him down a bunch of times. He's going to flip him a couple times. He's going to play up to the crowd. He's going to, cheer, blah, 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 blah. Merab doesn't hit that hard. So it's just going to be a situation where Merab probably wins by decision. But at the same time, Merab's finished some guys before, it's been a while though. I mean, his last 5 fights have all went to decision, all, winning by decision. But, he did take out Morais and he did, if you actually got to go pretty far back where he actually knocked out another person, but he always wins by decisions because he doesn't really hit that hard. Now, O'Malley, if he wants to win, he's got to bludgeon him. He's got to cut him like O'Malley did to Peter Yan, right? And that's, even though I thought Peter Yan technically won the fight, the damage was done by O'Malley a couple years ago, and that's why O'Malley got the nod. So that's what O'Malley's got to do. He's got to bludgeon Merab and try to convince the judges, and he's going to be the one showboating around. Maybe he'll smoke a fat one after the fight. Who knows? But I think Merab still is the much better fighter, and he's going to win this fight.
We've only got about 30 seconds here. Any other fight you want to throw up there? And where can people find you online, my man?
Yeah, absolutely. I like Joe Pyfer by decision as well. Joe Pyfer, I don't know why the heck he's called Body Bags. How do you miss out and not becoming the Pied Piper here, leading the rats over the cliff? What are they thinking? What a miss on that. Anyways, he's going to win by decision. I think Gastelum is just too tough to be knocked out, and I like that. Check us out, the Odds Makers. Check us out, the Circa contest and contest weekend, August 21st.
Falcons are actually relieved that he's kind of not there to create more of a distraction. Look, I mean, I said it the day it happened. It was one of the stupider decisions I've ever seen by a professional NFL franchise to sign a quarterback to a $180 million contract and then draft his replacement exactly 5 weeks later. This was a terrible organizational decision by the Falcons. Now, they're going to spin this, and this is what's annoying about the Falcons and their PR staff. They're going to spin this as if this is the plan we had all along. This is the plan that when, Kirk Cousins either got hurt or didn't play well or got too old, we were going to have Penix come in. And guess what? The new plan is now we're going to keep Kirk Cousins as a backup. So if Michael Penix gets hurt, we told you so. We were right for keeping him on the roster. We were smart for keeping him here. No, this whole thing has been an abject disaster.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of 18.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The Steelers' interest in Aaron Rodgers as a joke. Your boy went off about the entire situation and why it taken so long to forget him. Terry Bradshaw getting involved.
Yeah, and saying basically, what are you bringing him in for 1 year? All of this drama for 1 year at this guy, where he is now in his career is he's washed.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Quickest 120 minutes in sports talk and television continues. I am Gabriel Morency. The CFL season has begun, and I'm hating myself for taking the under. I got cute. At least earlier in the week we were talking about Ottawa, but I thought that, this is probably a better spot for Saskatchewan. Yeah, we talked about the Red Blacks plus 10 on the teaser. I don't know why I didn't tease us to the over, thinking it was going to get there. I got to be honest, though. I kept kind of coming back to the same score here. I thought there'd be more running of the ball. First game of the year, I thought it'd be a little bit sloppier. They've been pretty crisp. But you know what the problem is, actually? And it's something to note moving forward is Ottawa are super aggressive. They freaking throw the ball down the field on every play. Like, they really do. Like, they drop back and they throw it like 15, 20 yards in the air all the time. And it adds up, right? They're moving the ball. But they're losing 31-20 right now. That missed extra point might help me. I got under 54.5, but this isn't an NFL game where, it's another field goal. God knows it'll happen in the next 12 minutes in this game. So lesson learned. Hopefully the Riders hang on and we win that bet. Let's bring in an Elk fan right now. The Elks are going down on Saturday. They're playing the BC Lions in BC. 54,000 people. It's going to be packed. Because Snoop Dogg is in the house. Although the Lions do well anyways, like for their home openers, even without the bands. They get a good crowd in Vancouver. They actually averaged basically 28,000 fans a game last year. And that doesn't include like the opening game, like after selling 54,000. So it's one of the more successful franchises in the league, actually. They just don't win the championship ever, but neither do the Elks. Mick, what's going on?
Yes, mate, I'm a bit worried. I don't think the Elks players will enjoy playing in front of a massive crowd because the crowds have been so bad here the last few years. Maybe the NCAA players coming up will be used to the big crowd. But a lot of people razz up Snoop Dogg about the extra smoke in the air that's going to happen. But as you know, Snoop Dogg is actually a football coach. And when I was at Super Bowl in Jacksonville in 2005, he was down there coaching kids. So he loves his football. Don't know much about his music, but I think BC Lions will win just. But hey, the battle of two great Canadian quarterbacks, that's amazing, isn't it? Trey Ford and Nathan Rourke. I think it will come down to the best quarterback, actually.
Yeah, it's the first time ever, actually, that two Canadian quarterbacks will open up head-to-head against each other, like to start a season. So they've come a long way. I like, though, that Mick, Snoop Dogg is being a big football guy more than his music. But you are right, Mick. He's hardcore. Like, he coaches kids. He funds youth leagues. I had a vets group on at the Super Bowl on Media Row, veterans that have been with PTSD and stuff like that from war. And Snoop Dogg's like their ambassador. Like, he shows up and he played against them in like a flag football game. He's pretty hardcore Snoop Dogg. Like, he's not doing it because of money or this or that. He actually does love football, like you said, right? So, he goes to like as many games as he can, Snoop Dogg. So, speaking of which, it's an entertaining game. I'm just frustrated I'm not on the over of the game. So, Mick, what are your CFL picks? So we'll get to the NHL and AFL and everything, but what are your CFL picks this week? Tomorrow, the Montreal Alouettes host the Toronto Argonauts, laying 4 points. Saturday, BC are 5.5-point favorites against Edmonton, and Hamilton are 2-point favorites in Calgary.
Well, you got to go with the Alouettes at home without Chad Kelly at quarterback. He broke his leg, so he's still not right. And the Argos have lost a lot of defensive players. The Alouettes are looking good, and they're second to top favourite to win the Grey Cup at 5.25, I see. So I like the Alouettes to win and probably cover. But if Chad Kelly was playing, it'd be totally different. I do like the Tiger Cats to beat those rotten Stampeders. The Stampeders got a whole new defence. And Jake Meyer, the quarterback, is not even on the roster from last year. So I like Vernon Adams Jr.
Right. He's better than Jake Meyer. They got a better quarterback now.
Yeah, he's not good.
I just like that that's the one team you don't like is the Stampeders. Like, you got a grudge against. Like, you just don't like them.
I don't. I never have, mate. They're arrogant. You know that, and that's why I gotta get some wins on the board for the new Elks coach, the former Stampeder, before I trust him. But no, I think the Tiger Cats, and they got Kenny Lawler at wide receiver. He is fantastic, that guy. Bit injury prone, but with Bo Levi, Jeans Mitchell back in Calgary and upset that they dumped him still. Him to Kenny Lawler. I like Tiger Cats to win that one. And like I said, I think the Lions will beat the Elks just. But don't you love it that Jake Ceresna, the star on defense, is back in Edmonton? He should have never been traded to Toronto. That was crazy. Chris Jones doing that for Bethel Thompson. What a joke. So Ceresna, watch for him on the D-line for Elks. He's a star.
Yes. Mick Aussie in the house with us. A shout out to our boy Jesse. Good to see you, Jesse, the gift master. But God, this game's slowing down and they just fumbled, but I think they recovered it. But I was asking Mick, you ever seen the lady in Edmonton around that dresses like the Stanley Cup? She paints herself silver, dresses like the Stanley Cup. Jesse sent me a picture of her last night. She couldn't get into the game because it's like $1,200, but I brought it up on the show last night, Mick. That little party they got going on outside the arena at Edmonton, it doesn't seem like it seems to be pretty much a free-for-all. Like I said, it's a bunch of like teenagers smoking weed and drinking out there. Like, I'm surprised that like someone doesn't say, listen, man, we got a problem. Like, we got a bunch of teenage girls getting drunk on TV.
They had a shot of this kid. He's like shotgunning a beer. He looked like he was 9.
Like, I'm gonna fight after. I remember I brought it up. Why you guys fight? They're all kids. They all get wasted and fight after.
Why do you think I live here, Gabe? Because this is one of the last frontiers. Every other city is woke and you can't do this and that. It's not that cold anymore either, mate. This is a good city, affordable. But the Oilers tickets were more than 6 times the amount. I told you that lady, the chiropractor, she said it was going to be more than 1,800 for Game 5. It was going to be about 2,300. So, mate, they're crazy. But if he's not a thief if people are paying it, are they? But it's ridiculous, mate. You could go to Mexico or Caribbean for a week instead of going to an Oilers game. But hey, whatever. Good on them if they want to pay it. But if you lose, you'd be pretty upset spending all that money. But yes, you're right. A lot of young girls down there. Some good scenery and good scenery in the crowd as well, mate.
Mick Aussie in the house. When are you doing your trip, Mick? When's your trip?
I leave I leave Sunday morning, get this, and I
Okay.
get to London at 7 o'clock Monday morning, and guess what I'm doing? I am going straight to Wimbledon. I'm doing the museum and the Wimbledon tour with my bag. Going there, can't wait for that. I love tennis, as
That's
you know.
awesome.
And then I'm heading to the hotel. But get this, Gabe, you'll love this. I did a little video on Instagram of Denis Shapovalov serving to himself. And I said, weird is the French Open. 200,000 views in 6 days. Can you believe that? So you never know what's going to go viral. But I diss the French Open because they play on dirt.
Yeah, I didn't fully understand what you said there.
I don't either, but I liked it.
Yeah, you know what? It's not dirt, it's clay. Cam was just talking
Clay,
about how he
clay.
loves clay tennis last night.
I
You know
love
what you're
clay.
saying is-
Clay's amazing, Nick. Come on.
No.
It's beautiful.
You're
It's a great
you're
surface.
slipping and sliding.
No, you got to learn how to
You
play
can't
on
even-
clay. It's a skill
You can't
set.
even see the lines.
Yes,
No,
you can.
I did a
You play the
video
clay.
with Shapovalov. I did a video from TSN and it got 200,000 views on Instagram of Denis Shapovalov serving to himself. You couldn't see the other guy
Yeah,
playing.
that's what I
It
don't
was
understand.
bizarre.
A shepherd ball. I thought you were saying shepherd's pie at first. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know,
shepherd's
like, what
pie.
the hell's this guy? I don't know. I don't know who Dennis Shepherd Hall is. Like,
Yeah,
I know who
whatever.
Harry Hall is.
Shapovalov.
Oh, that
Canadian.
Yeah. Chapo. Yeah.
Nick, you're not even close. Like, it sounds like you're saying shepherd's pie.
I like shepherd's pie. It's delicious.
Shapovalov.
Some in London.
It's not Shapovalov.
The Falcons are actually relieved that he's kind of not there to create more of a distraction. Look, I mean, I said it the day it happened. It was one of the stupider decisions I've ever seen by a professional NFL franchise to sign a quarterback to a $180 million contract and then draft his replacement exactly 5 weeks later. This was a terrible organizational decision by the Falcons. Now, they're going to spin this, and this is what's annoying about the Falcons and their PR staff. They're going to spin this as if this is the plan we had all along. This is the plan that when, Kirk Cousins either got hurt or didn't play well or got too old, we were going to have Penix come in. And guess what? The new plan is now we're going to keep Kirk Cousins as a backup. So if Michael Penix gets hurt, we told you so. We were right for keeping him on the roster. We were smart for keeping him here. No, this whole thing has been an abject disaster.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The Steelers' interest in Aaron Rodgers as a joke. Your boy went off about the entire situation and why it taken so long to forget him. Terry Bradshaw getting involved.
Yeah, insane. Basically, what are you bringing him in for 1 year? All of this drama for 1 year at this guy, where he is now in his career is he's washed.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. All right, the show is flying by like they always do. Tomorrow night, it'll be a Stanley Cup night, so we're going to be lit up tomorrow night. Cam's gone tomorrow. We have our regular crew, Tony Finn, Rob Vino, Gamblu's on the radar. We'll get George Kurtz on for a little hockey talk as well, but we'll be all over the game. Epic ending to the NBA game tonight. I can't believe what we saw. Once again, it's like, will they cover? We're worried about them covering, and then they actually win the freaking game outright. Halliburton hits another game-winning shot with 0.3 seconds left. 111, 110. Epic stuff tonight. We got Mick Aussie with us. We got to get to your AFL picks. We got Julio on the radar, although we'll see about that. And Mick, you say you got a clam chowder story for us,
mate.
but let's go quick here. We don't have a ton of time, so give us the story and then your AFL picks.
Yeah, he calls me up and he's chatting and he goes, I called up Gabe's fiance, and I said, what do you mean you called up Gabe's fiance? He goes, yeah, I called her on a Facebook video. So I'm nearly laughing my head off because, everything's so private with you, Gabe. And she goes, I suppose you want to talk to Gabe. And Clam goes, no, I want to talk to you. I says, why'd you want to talk to her? And Clam goes, oh, I just wanted to get to know her. And then apparently she was with her girlfriend having coffee, so he only talked to her for a minute. But I'm laughing my head off, mate.
Why are you telling me a story I already know? Like, I don't really understand, like, how this is some...
I know.
Exactly. Like, it's like, yeah.
I didn't know he's calling me.
That's how nobody calls people on Facebook, Cam. Like, if you're on Facebook, you could just call someone.
You
don't need their number. Yeah, that's why you're not. Imagine that's be my worst nightmare too. Like, no, people on Facebook call, like Clam Chowder will call, and his face just pops up like a video screen there.
Yeah, I can't have that happen.
Yeah.
I got enough problems.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah. She let him know nothing personal, but she wasn't overly impressed. She's like, "Who the hell is this guy calling me on Facebook?"
It's like a stranger calling. Hey, Clam Chowder.
Being honest, she only answered because she thought it was someone else. She thought it was one of her friends. She's like, "What? Hello?" And then like, it's some guy she doesn't know. Magic. Like he doesn't even know her. He's like, "Hey, yeah." So, oh God, Ottawa just scored a touchdown.
Here we go. It's not over.
Late pain.
If Saskatchewan loses this game, I'm going to throw a melon through a window.
Be surprised. I don't know why I didn't tease it. I said I was going to tease anyways. We can't start losing our mind and getting super mad over the first game of the year, but I kind of am already, to be honest. Like, I'm kind of like getting mad.
I am too.
And I told Mick during the break, I said, you got to be fast. We don't have a lot of time, so just get to your picks. And then that story sucked. Like, it was not like funny at all for anybody. That's why my instinct was right to say, no, just whatever.
You let him go,
I didn't know
you
what your story was. Yeah, and he failed. You know, Mick, I'm glad you're going to be gone for a couple of weeks, actually, after this. Like, it's like a suspension. Go to England. Like, go to England. Like,
shepherd's pie.
Yeah, go to England, eat some shepherd's pie. And some kidney stuff. No, we love Chowder. I got it. It's like, all right. Chowder's crazy. We know he is. We already knew that. All right, so...
Oh, he misses you, mate. He misses you. It's funny. He misses you. Anyway.
What's your AFL pick, Mick?
Picks. He's getting bad. He's getting sour. Picks.
All right. Best bets. The money line, Magpies, Collingwood Magpies, and Geelong Cats, I think, is the safest. And then the Carlton Blues should beat the Essendon Bombers for a three-way multi. But it's a tough week, mate. So the teams you like on the money line, I think they'll pay okay. And then the Greater Western Sydney Giants should beat the Power, Port Adelaide Power, but that's a risky one. But one of the games of the week is the Adelaide Crows at home versus the Brisbane Lions. I think the Crows will win that, but that could go either way. Lions are on top. Crows are in third spot, so that should be an absolute ripper, but it might rain, so there's another one. And take the Richmond Tigers on the plus, as they might even defeat the Sydney Swans, because the Sydney Swans are terrible, as we know. Even though the Swans are favourite, they got belted by the Crows by 90 points. So I like the Tigers on the plus and even the money line there.
Mick Aussie. All right, Mick. Safe travels. When's the big cricket match that's going to last like 5 days? When's it start?
Yeah, it starts Wednesday and the weather's looking good up until Saturday. So take the Aussies to win. They are favourite. And I like a couple of the players to win the man of the match. Steve Smith or our boy Travis Head or the bowlers Stark and Cummins. So the Aussies have got the first 6 players as favourite to win man of the match. But let's hope it doesn't rain because that'd really ruin it.
All right, Mick. We're gonna let you go before you start sharing your tour itinerary with us and where you're going for breakfast. All right, there's Mick Ossie. Thanks, Mick. Safe travels.
Shepherd's pie, bangers and mash. Later,
This
Mick.
guy,
Have a good one.
we got
mate.
to be quick. He takes like 10 minutes. Tells us something like,
Well, you know, clam chowder called out of the blue cafe. Like, what the hell, shepherd's pie? I don't know what the hell we're
I
talking
thought it was
about.
going to be an Argo story or something. Clam Chowder was posting pictures of him with his Argo championship rings.
Yeah,
that he hustled one of them from Cam. He basically like just shook Cam down for.
And he drank all my Pepsi too. Nobody drinks my Pepsi.
Big Head Julio joins us. What's up, Julio?
What a melon you got there, Julio. It's huge.
Look,
and
don't you love here in the States? Oh, baseball, it's too long. And then cricket is 5 days. It's the summertime. It's nothing but drinking. Is anyone complaining? Both sports have been around for a century. Who's complaining about the time of the cricket matches? No one, because it's time to get drunk. It's the same in the summertime. Why do you think minor league baseball is so popular? Cheap beer.
I've said it before, and it's actually true. People don't believe it. You can look up the study, but a goldfish has a longer attention span than the average American does right now. So that's why cricket will never catch on in the U.S.
Goldfish crushes Mick.
What, a cold from Mick?
Touche.
No, I don't know. Mick's like a pit bull. He's got a long attention span. He stays on one thing forever, this guy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's why he's a cricket match. He doesn't.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalposts got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to be this. I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8 seed.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Face. It's the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're the face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces of the NBA aren't American.
SportsRage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
And if you go through Cat, that means Cat at 11-1 could be Eastern Conference Finals MVP. The worst team in the WNBA is the Chicago Sky. They have no perimeter play. They're playing too many minutes. And Angel Reese doesn't have the help she needs.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Well, last night we had an epic, crazy ending in the NHL game, overtime. Tonight, couldn't get much better than that NBA basketball game, the way that it ended. Halliburton hits another moonshot. This guy's like unbelievable run that he's on right now. So I guess it would almost be fitting that the first CFL game of the year ends up with an epic comeback. But the Ottawa Redblacks are kind of coming back right now. But they need a touchdown. Saskatchewan just fumbled It's the one thing with the CFL, man. It's hard to close games out. The last 5 minutes take forever in this league. Like, they stop the clock. It's like, you can't just take a knee and, like, it's only 3 down. So it's hard to just run the ball and kill the clock. So you have to throw the ball. They threw the ball. It was a safe little screen play. Buddy was running down the field with it, and he dropped the ball. Someone hit him, and he dropped it. And Ottawa aren't going away. Brown's been sacked a million times, but he keeps on throwing it. Now they're going to have a third and a must situation coming up here right now. All right, we'll get Julio's bets in a second here. Cam, you're not going to be with us tomorrow. What's your pick for the hockey game tomorrow, Cam?
Oh, I'm betting Edmonton. I'm just going to ride both games at home. That was a fantastic third period in overtime. Absolutely wild atmosphere. Can't wait to see the Silver Lady again. That chick's the best. Yeah, I got to take the Oilers, Gabe. That's what it is. I have Oilers in 6. You even talked about 5. I think it's essential they win both games at home. Crazy Canadian Open, too. The Canadians off to a great start in the Canadian Open. All of them are under par. They're playing really, really well.
So what's your pick? Who's going to win now?
The Canadian Open? That's a tough one, Gabe. I don't have anybody right now. I got Jake Afternoon Knapp at 8-1. He's in 4th place right now. I like Knapp.
Is he really going to win, though?
He's won before. He's dating a chick from Ottawa, too. Yeah, his lady's there. I don't know, man. He shot 7 under today. He's pretty good. Torbjorn Olsen's leading.
I wanted to take Shane Lowry, and I said, hey, you guys didn't talk about Shane Lowry at all, and here he is right now. But he could fall apart after the fact. But Shane Lowry's 9-1. Knapp is plus 1,400 right now. You know what? I'll say I'm going to go with Taylor Pendrith. Plus 1,600. I'll pull the trigger with the Canadian. Pendrith.
He played well today.
Plus 1,600. Julio, what are your best bets? What do you got for us moving forward here? We got the hockey game tomorrow, UFL this weekend, MLS, and this FIFA World Cup of club soccer starting soon too. And it's a big debacle. The stadiums are going to be empty. It's like, at least some of them will be. We'll see. Like, supposedly they sold tickets for the Real Madrid game and the Paris Saint-Germain game, but a lot of the teams are struggling. And also, like, half the country is banned from getting into the United States. Half the world's like I saw. It's like you ban 19 countries, Julio. And I'm not getting political. It's like some of the countries fine, whatever. And I'm just thinking, you guys really probably should have thought about wanting to host the World Cup and the Olympics. Because it's like people come, you know what I mean? You want people leaving, you got people coming. Like no one's going to this soccer tournament, Julio. But what do you got for us?
Novak Djokovic plus 333 to beat Sinner. Sabalenka to win in straight sets against Goff plus 137. Djokovic plus 133. The Kansas City Royals on the run line. Shop around. I got them at even money right now against the White Sox. World Cup qualifiers. Serbia money line plus 120. Under college baseball. Texas San Antonio plus 150 against UCLA. Edmonton Oilers money line, and Erling Haaland, first goal scorer for Norway against Italy, plus 350.
See, that's the Julio play that that's always coming. The Erling Haaland first goal of the game. That's the sure, like that's if I was your bookie, I'd charge less for. I'd be like, yeah, juice that. Come on, he's gonna bet it anyways.
That's his profile pick, like me, Eric Cole, top 20. Yeah, we know what you're doing. Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna take. I'll take Sabalenka. She's minus 188 against Goff, and whatever. Let's say Alcaraz and Djokovic, Sinner parlay together minus 271. That sucks. I'm gonna have to add something.
Advanced partner, yeah.
I think it's gonna be Sinner and Alcaraz in the final.
Yes,
more than likely, yeah.
But it's like I said, it's minus 271. So. I'll find a dance partner and we'll post it online. Like I said, I broke a computer. I've been on the road all day trying to deal with this situation. It's been a frustrating experience, but we were on the Pacers tonight, and looks like we're going to have an epic NBA Finals to go along with an epic Stanley Cup Finals. We'll see you on the Pharrell Show and the Friday Night Freak Show. I'm going to be here later.